Sideline Sedo back here again with another video, and today I figured I'd do something new to recap the Uefa competitions for this week, that being the Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League. Instead of making three separate recap videos, I'm just going to give you a this week in Uefa or in Europe segment. That's going to be the new format moving forward for the videos. I figured it'd be easier to just kind of talk about everything at once, give you a brief summary of how the tables have shifted, and give you some narratives of each group. Thank you so much for everyone who's continuing to support the channel. If you're new, consider subscribing and make sure to comment down below what you thought of all these results. Some absolutely insane shifts in the tables. Let's get right into it. And as always, if you enjoy the video, consider giving it a like. Group A in the Champions League. Bayern at the top with 6 points, Galatasaray with 4, Copenhagen with 1, and Manchester United with 0. Wow, Man United, really like the big story out of this group, just lost to Galatasaray after losing to Bayern in week 1. That means they've, scored 5 goals in 2 games and gotten 0 points. That's a huge kind of L for them to have to take on. Copenhagen, on 1 point, they got the draw with Galatasaray. Galatasaray with a historic win against Man United, and Bayern, 6 points comfortable at the top. The next fixture is Galatasaray and Bayern and Man United v Copenhagen. Definitely going to be important ones. If, Galatasaray manages to get a point or, wins potentially even, that's a big kind of shift in the tone of the group, because United need to win this, because if Copenhagen draws or a draw, United's not out, but a win, United is in a rough spot, and probably Erik ten Hag too, because you losing to Copenhagen at home and starting a Champions League campaign with 3 consecutive losses would be pretty bad. Moving on to Group B, this is another kind of dismal performance from English clubs. Comment down below what you thought of the English clubs in Europe this week, specifically in the Champions League. There's a few blunders, it felt like. Arsenal, they lost to Lens, who went up to first with 4 points. Sevilla and PSV behind Arsenal and Lens with 2 points and 1 point each. Arsenal sitting in second on 3 points, I should say. Sevilla and Arsenal facing off next week. Or not next week, but 2 weeks from now or so. Maybe that looks closer to almost a little under 3 weeks from now. But regardless, I think that's, I don't know if the international break is coming up right there, but definitely a big challenge for Arsenal. They're going away to Sevilla. Sevilla, they had to sell quite a few players due to financial reasons. They're going to want to win this game to carry some momentum just generally throughout the season. They're at home, so it's going to be a challenge, but Arsenal probably the favorites. And then Lens, if Lens could win that puts them in a really good spot, regardless of results going into the 4th match week or match day. Group C, Real Madrid at the top of the table. Jude Bellingham absolutely balling out, got a goal and assist this past week. Just absolutely ridiculous talent. And if you're wondering, yeah, as a Liverpool fan, even though Liverpool has what I think is a very great midfield after the rebuild, yeah, I'm jealous that Real Madrid got Jude Bellingham. I'll admit it. I have no shame in saying that, because it's the truth. He's a quality player. They got the best English midfield talent since God knows who. He's really just tearing it up. He's got, 9 goals and 2 assists in 6 games. I forget his stats, but if we were to look at Jude's stats, I would imagine that they're really ridiculous. I shouldn't have clicked that, though. I don't really want to look at his stats right now, to be quite honest. But moving forward, beyond that, Braga sitting on 3 points after a shocking late win against Union Berlin. Definitely a big come up for Braga. They're going to be in good not good spirits, I guess they would be in, not in good standing, but because it is a tough group regardless. They still have to face Berlin again. Napoli and Real Madrid are still there. It's going to be tough. And they have faced Madrid twice too. That's going to be rough for Braga. But they face Real Madrid next at the Bernabeu. That is going to be a tough fixture, not going to lie. And Napoli faces Union Berlin. Next is Real Sociedad, Inter, Salzburg, and Benfica. Benfica, what is going on? Benfica is usually an absolutely formidable foe in the Champions League, specifically the group stage as of late. And even in the knockouts, they're a team that, you can never keep your guard down against. But this season, I'll be honest, I don't know what's going on at Benfica. I don't know why they're performing so bad. I haven't watched them enough to be able to give you a good reason. But this is pretty dismal. Not a single goal scored either. That is just not the vibes. Salzburg on 3 points, Inter on 4, and Real Sociedad on 4 as well. This group is going to be very interesting to see unfold. Inter and Salzburg next, Benfica versus Real Sociedad. Got a feel for Benfica, but Salzburg, I think they're also a dark horse for this group. If they get a good result against, say, Inter here, yeah, if even a draw here would be big, because if Benfica somehow manages to lose or drop points, and you could get a draw and kind of get right up in there, then they're in good standing to kind of go and really take it to Real Sociedad and potentially create an upset in this Group D. Group E, Atletico Madrid, Lazio, Feyenoord, and Celtic. Celtic, Brendan Rodgers just not doing too well to start Champions League life. They bottled it against Lazio. Not the best look. Feyenoord on 3 points in third. Lazio with 4 points in second. And Atletico Madrid with 4 points in first. Next fixtures for that one are Feyenoord, Lazio, and Celtic, Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid going to Celtic, that'll be an interesting affair for sure. If Brendan Rodgers doesn't get a win there, I don't know what the outcome of this group is really for them. I don't know how they'll kind of bounce forward and continue, to say the least. But Group F is honestly probably the most interesting group. I predicted Newcastle to not do too good in this group because I thought that experienced European pedigree like Dortmund, Milan, even PSG, I thought that they'd be fine. Kylian Mbappe, I think he's the best player in the world. I think he has been for a couple seasons now. And he won the World Cup already. He got to the finals the next time. He's an absolute beast. But 4-1? They lost 4-1? Comment down below. What do you think about that loss for PSG? Isn't it telling? 4-1 loss. Obviously, away from home at St. James Park. But St. James Park. It's no offense to them. It's obviously a atmosphere that is intense, formidable. Nobody wants to play at St. James Park. No opposing team in their right mind would ever want to play at St. James Park. But you're PSG. You got Ousmane Dembele, Gonçalo Ramos, Donnarumma, Marquinhos, Mbappe, Colomwani, Dembele. The list goes on and on. Hakimi. It's relentless. Ugarte. Quality players. And you lost to a back line that had, no offense, Dan Burn, Schär, who I have a really high standard for Schär. I think he's a top quality center back, and I've been saying this for the better part of a decade. I think he's been underutilized at Newcastle for so long, so to see him get that wonder strike was awesome. But PSG still in second with 3 points, Milan with 2 points in third, and Dortmund just lowly on 1 point, a sole single point for Dortmund. Tough look. Next fixtures, PSG hosting AC Milan in France, and Newcastle hosting Dortmund at St. James Park. Next, we have Group G, the second last group for the Champions League. We have Man City, 6 points. What'd you think? They had a pretty solid comeback against RB Leipzig. It was 1-1, and then they just got the dub, 3-1, kind of their thing, as you can see. Following that, you had, Young Boys and Cervena Zvezda draw 1-1 or 2-2. They got a point each. And, this group is kind of taking shape exactly how most people expected, I think. Not really much else to add, honestly. Just City going to walk the group, Group H, Barcelona, 6 points, 6 goals for, 0 against. just very dominant performance from them. And what is an easy group? This is expected of Barcelona. I'm glad that for their sake, they're delivering. Porto has 3 points in second, Shakhtar with 3 points in third, and Antwerp, unfortunately, at the bottom, straight up in fourth. Tough for them. But, as a Belgian side, against Barcelona, Porto, you would wish that you kind of had, some more luck in those games. Obviously, Barcelona beating them 5-0. A lot of luck would be needed to reverse something like that. But this Shakhtar Donetsk game is going to definitely haunt Antwerp supporters for quite a bit. But next fixtures for that I should say, Barca hosting Shakhtar Donetsk and Antwerp hosting Porto. Comment down below, what were your thoughts on all these Champions League fixtures, and what do you think of the upcoming match day 3 fixtures for all these groups? And moving forward, we're going to get into the Europa League. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm in the Europa League. The Europa League. It's a little sobering. I'll be honest, going from, the glitz and the glamour and excitement of the Champions League to the Europa League. And that's not a jab at the Europa League. Europa League has some quality fixtures, interesting matchups, but some of the groups are meh, But I'm just saying, a lot of these groups, the way that they're kind of shaping up, there's some interesting stuff unfolding. Group A, West Ham at the top, 6 points, Freiburg 3 points, Olympiacos and Bachka Topolo on a point each, third and fourth respectively. Bachka Topolo got a draw with Olympiacos at home. They'll have wished that they could have gotten, all 3 points there, because all 3 points would have been huge for them. West Ham did beat Freiburg away. So that's a big kind of testament to them as it stands, getting 6 points, 2 games, I think, so next game is away in Greece as well to Olympiacos. But honestly, this group feels very comfortably like a West Ham group. West Ham should walk this. They get this result against Olympiacos especially. Who knows? They could be in a really good standing, because Bachka Topolo is hosting Freiburg. And Freiburg is a side that you would favor in that matchup. But, they just got a draw against Olympiacos. They'll also be thinking, if we could get some points here, then we could get up into third. And who knows what happens then. But Group B is crazy. AEK Athens on top with 4 points. Marseille in second with 2. Ajax in third with 2. And Brighton, bottom of the group, with a single point. Tough results here for a couple of the sides, honestly. AK Athens got a huge 3-2 victory against Brighton the opening week. And then they, drop points at home against Ajax, who haven't had the best of the starts to their season in the Eredivisie. But at the same time, you take those. You're 2 points clear. You just got to move forward. Marseille got a draw with Brighton at home. And Brighton, they're not really in the best shapes either. I mean, this group is going to be a goal fest just about every weekend, or every week, I should say. Obviously, this week a little lower, 2-2 and 1-1. But last week, there was literally, 11 goals between 2 games. I think we'll have a lot more weeks like this in the coming match days. Match day 3, which is October 26th. Marseille hosting AEK Athens and Brighton hosting Ajax at the Amex. Comment down below what you think about Group B in the UEFA Europa League. Going forward, Group C, Sparta Praha, RS Limassol, Rangers, and Real Betis. RS Limassol beat Rangers. They beat Rangers. Michael Beale, mate, what are you doing, bro? A 2-1 loss? I mean, I know RS Limassol were at home. I have not watched the game at all, but that's just a crazy result for them to get. They're in a solid spot. Betis, bottom of the group. I thought they'd get first. It's going to be an interesting group. Next up, you have Rangers traveling to Sparta Prague. They're going to face off. And then you have RS Limassol hosting Real Betis. Aris Limassol can get another victory there. Man, oh man, this group becomes very tasty. Group D, Atalanta, Sporting, Sturm Graz, and Rakow. Rakow, 0 points. Very tough for them. Atalanta and Sporting. Well, Atalanta on 6, and then Sporting and Sturm Graz on 3 each. Honestly, you know, this is a group where Atalanta, I think, are going to be comfortably ahead of everybody. You know, they could trip up here. This could be tricky. An away fixture to, I believe they're in Austria. Yeah, I think that's in Austria. But Rakow really kind of backs against the wall here at home against Sporting. Sporting gonna look to get a big win there as well. And yeah, gonna be an interesting group. Group D. Group E, Liverpool, Toulouse, Union Saint-Gilloise, and LASK. LASK, unfortunately for them, the bottom of table, 0 points. USG, Union, they are on 1 point. Kevin McAllister, Alexis McAllister's brother, did play against Alexis today. I wasn't able to watch the Liverpool fixture. I'll be straight up with everybody. I've only seen the goals. Good goal from Ryan Gravenberch in that one. And then Toulouse, you know, they're up to 4 points. They got a win against LASK. Only a 1-0 win. LASK, honestly, are a tough side. I won't lie. They obviously took the lead against Liverpool initially in Matchday 1. But next week, they are traveling to Belgium to face off against Union Saint-Gilloise. And then Liverpool are hosting Toulouse on October 26th, which will be an entertaining affair, surely. Group F, Panathinaikos. Hope I pronounced that right. Some people have, you know, kind of shouted at me in the comments like, hey, I pronounced it right. I apologize, straight up. I guess that's just the American in me. But Panathinaikos, Villarreal, Rennes, and Maccabi Haifa at the bottom of the group. Villarreal got a win. They lost in the opening week, but they got a win at home against Rennes. And then a 0-0 draw between Maccabi Haifa and Panathinaikos. And honestly, I don't know where this group will go. I don't know if, you know, Villarreal will just kind of surge in this next home game against Maccabi Haifa. I don't know if Rennes will kind of upset Panathinaikos in Greece. It remains to be seen. I know very little about most of these sides as it stands with the current composition of their teams. So I'll have to keep my eye out on Group F. Comment down below and let me know if there's anything I'm missing or what you think of how this group will play out. Group G, Slavia Praha, Roma, Servette, and Sheriff. Sheriff and Servette both on 0 points. And hey, I'll admit it. A lot of Slavia Praha fans, they were mad at me in the comments saying, hey, what do you know? We're going to be the top of the group. Hey, y'all were right. Fair enough. You know, I thought that Sheriff could maybe have some upsets. Admittedly, Sheriff lost to Roma in the first week, and then they lost. Wow, they got thumped 6-0. Got above, bro. That is bad. 6-0, yeah. That prediction's looking really rough. Sorry, Sheriff fans, but hey, Slavia Prague. Credit to all the fans that were sounding off in the comments and told me that I was an absolute fool because they got 8 goals in 2 games. That's absolutely ballistic. Credit to them. Roma behind on goal difference by 3 goals, and then Servette and Sheriff just, who knows? They're not really. They have to face off against each other. So one of those teams, or maybe even both of them, if they get a draw, could be in a really bad situation moving forward. Finally, the last group of the UEFA Europa League is Group H. Leverkusen up on top of the group with 6 points. Qarabag in second with 6 points. And then Molde and Haken on 0 points as well. Leverkusen doing incredible in the Bundesliga this season. Xabi Alonso just doing great things for them. And honestly, I don't know much about any of the other 3 sides, but as it stands, Qarabag, if I'm not mistaken, let me just check this real quick. They are from Yes, they are from Azerbaijan. So to see them, potentially, mounting a really good spot to go in to the knockout phase of the Europa League, that could be huge. So best of luck to them, I suppose. Molde and Haken face off next week. Similar situation to Sheriff and Servette. One of those sides in each of those kind of groups will be feeling really bad. Maybe even both of them, because I think a draw is really bad. Because if one of these top sides even gets a win, then y'all are very far away. But let me know what you thought about the Europa League. Make sure to comment down below on any of the groups. Give me your predictions. Give me your thoughts on the goals or the matches. But yeah, moving forward, we have the UEFA Europa Conference League. UEFA Europa Conference League. It's kind of a mouthful. I just call it the Conference League. Group A has Slovan Bratislava on top with 6 points. Lille in second with 4 points. KI Klaksvik in third with 1 point. They are out in the Faroe Islands as well, if you didn't know. And then Olimpia Ljubljana, bottom of the group with 0 points. This group, honestly, the way I see it, I still think Lille probably are favorites here. They did draw with Klaksvik. They drew with Klaksvik? Really? I would have credit to Klaksvik. Apologize. Klaksvik. They drew with Klaksvik, which surprises me. No offense to Klaksvik. I've yet to see how, I know that the stadium is kind of small, and I could only imagine traveling to the Faroe Islands would be really tough for any team. And it would just be kind of a challenging venture regardless. But yeah, this group, if I were to have to guess, in the next match days, Lille, if they get that win, they could get in a good spot. And then Klaksvik, I mean, if they win against Olimpia Ljubljana, they could also kind of get up towards Lille. So depending on how this shapes up, you could see a situation where Lille is on 7 points, Klaksvik is on 4, and then Slovan Bratislava is on 6. It's going to be tough for the bottom two teams, I think, to kind of progress. But hey, never say never. I think this group could be very interesting. Comment down below and let me know what you think. In Group B, Ghent in first, Zorya Luhansk in second. Both of them have 4 points. It's only a single goal that splits them. Maccabi Tel Aviv in third with 3 points, and Breidablik in last place with 0 points. Ghent hosting Breidablik. Ghent wins that. You would imagine that they're going to be in a great spot. And then Maccabi Tel Aviv, they're going to look to really get a win against Zorya Luhansk, because that could leapfrog them into second, and then things kind of start to get a little more comfortable for them moving forward. Obviously, they got the reverse fixture the next match day after that. Group C, another group that I'm a little surprised by. Victoria Plzeň in first with 6 points. Balkani in second with 3 points. Dinamo Zagreb in third with 3 points. And Astana in last with 0 points. Balkani beat Zagreb 2-0. That's a tough loss for Dinamo Zagreb. And honestly, I was expecting them to kind of walk this group. Victoria Plzeň, credit to them. I remember a couple seasons ago, or a few seasons back now, they were in the Champions League. So to see them back in European competitions, I think that's a, generally exciting thing, because teams like that are smaller like this do impress me. Balkani, I know little about. For them to get, two wins, or one win in 2 games, but to kind of be in a good spot to, wait, why is it head to head? Really? That's the first. Is it head to head that really splits? That's weird as to why they're there, because the goal difference is, it's confusing me. Regardless, Astana, bottom of the table, they face Balkani next. That's gonna be a big game, both sides with a lot at stake. And then Dinamo Zagreb hosting Victoria Plzeň. If Zagreb want to kind of progress to the top of the group, their best bet is to get that win and just hope for the best. Maybe, Balkani draws, or maybe Astana gets a shock win. But next is Group D. Lugano, Club Brugge, Besiktas, and Bodo Glimt. Lugano, top of the group, credit to them. They are on 4 points with 1 goal for the goal difference. Club Brugge is also in second with 4 points. Brugge won today after drawing the first week against Besiktas. Bodo Glimt on a single point as well. Besiktas lost 3-2 at home to Lugano. That's what's allowed Lugano to go to the top of the table. The way I see it, I made some pretty bold predictions about Besiktas. I'm pretty sure I said that they wouldn't do too great in their group, and I got some hate for it. I think I had Bodo Glimt, Club Brugge going forward, and then Besiktas in third. And a lot of people were mad at me, or I might even have them fourth and Lugano in third, but then I moved Lugano to fourth. But regardless, this is a group that I think it could be really entertaining. I mean, next, Bodo Glimt hosts Besiktas, and they're both on a single point, so that's going to be a huge kind of showdown. And then Lugano hosts Club Brugge. If Lugano could get a win there, man, oh man, the whole group starts to take a really interesting kind of turn. Group E, Zrinski, gosh, I butchered that. Zrinski Mostar in first with 3 points. AZ Alkmaar with 3 points as well. Legia Warsaw with 3 points, and Aston Villa with 3 points. 0 goal difference all around. So Aston Villa, they did win today against Zrinski Mostar, who won 4-3 against AZ Alkmaar. AZ Alkmaar. And then Legia Warsaw lost to AZ Alkmaar today. And honestly, this group, you don't know what's going to happen. Zrinski Mostar is hosting Legia Warsaw. If they could get a win there, that'd be huge for them, at home. And then same thing for AZ Alkmaar. You're up against Villa. If you get that psychological edge of a win here, who knows what happens in the rest of the group. Definitely going to keep an eye out in this group. Comment down below, what do you think about these fixtures for Group E? And let's move to the third to last group, Group F, with Ferencváros with 4 points, Genk with 4 points, Fiorentina and Čukarički with 0 points. Fiorentina on 2 points. They got 2 draws, and today Ferencváros drew with Fiorentina. So, 2-2 draw there. Genk winning against Čukarički. Tough for them, 1 goal, 4-5 against. They do have to travel to Italy to face against Fiorentina. And then Genk will host Ferencváros in Belgium. So that'll be an interesting group to see unfold. Ferencváros, I believe, is a Hungarian team. So if they could get upset, and win against Genk in Belgium, man, that'd be a kind of interesting situation in this group. Moving forward, Group G, PAOK, Eintracht Frankfurt, HJK, and Aberdeen. Aberdeen and HJK on a single point each. Eintracht Frankfurt with 3 points, and PAOK with 6 points. PAOK beat Eintracht Frankfurt in Greece today, and Aberdeen drew with HJK. Eintracht Frankfurt, definitely going to be upset that they lost away from home. Next week they have HJK, and honestly, another really, this is what I like about these competitions. Just exciting matchups you wouldn't expect. This HJK team, if they get a historic win against Eintracht Frankfurt, they go up to 4 points. Aberdeen, if they could draw or win, say even, that's 6-4-4-3 basically. Everybody would be within striking distance of one another, and it would be kind of crazy for these 4 teams, because this is like a really wild assortment of teams. Who would have thunk this group would ever exist at the start of the UEFA competitions. Final group, Fenerbahce, the top of the group with 6 points. Nordsjælland in second with 3 points. Ludogorets in third with 3 points, and Spartak Trnava in fourth with 0 points. I forget what I predicted for Fenerbahce to do in this group. I know Nordsjælland, I predicted to do well. Ludogorets, I think I predicted to do okay, or maybe even get third. I definitely had Spartak Trnava at the bottom of the group. I might have had Fenerbahce towards the top. I forget. But regardless, Fenerbahce got a win against Spartak Trnava away from home. And Nordsjælland absolutely demolished Ludogorets 7-1. 7-1. That's a big loss. Obviously, away from home is never easy, but that's a tough one for Ludogorets to have to take. And next week, Fenerbahce faces Ludogorets at home, so they'll be looking to kind of secure their spot. They'll look at this result and be like, wow, we can go and do what Nordsjælland did. But, you know, Ludogorets will be like, we can't let that happen again. So it'll be an interesting kind of head-to-head there. And then also, Spartak Trnava, 0 points. It's kind of a, you know, last-ditch effort here for them to potentially get anything out of this group. They'd have to, you know, win their last couple of games, or last few, really. But exciting stuff all around. Comment down below and let me know what you think of the upcoming UEFA Europa Conference League fixtures and groups. Let me know what you thought of the results as well. Comment down below regarding all that, regarding the Europa League as well. Make sure to comment about that. And make sure to comment about the Champions League. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video and enjoyed this new format of kind of UEFA Europa League, just general UEFA competition recaps, consider giving the video a like and consider subscribing. We'd love to have you as a subscriber on the channel. We have a lot of interesting content here, and we'll only be making more interesting footy content, interesting UEFA content, and just interesting general football content right here on the Sideline Sedo YouTube channel. So thank you so much for making it this far. If you did, I'm Sideline Sedo. Peace.